What was that? What was that? All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. If you don't know me, my name is Brandon, and I'm a high school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia. Doing another episode of SpongeBob today. This series is one of the most well-liked series on the channel, so I'm going to continue to do that until you guys run out of recommendations. So this one is one that you all have asked for quite a few times, called Squidward School for Grownups. I've not seen it. I don't know anything about it other than this one still frame here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Just a reminder, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe using the button below. If you're not a channel member, please consider becoming a channel member. Quick shout out to all of the channel members. I'll put their names right here on the screen. I tend to give great deference to these individuals when it comes to suggesting content, and they have access to the members only Discord. They also get early access to all of my videos, among other perks that are available at the higher levels. Anyway, let's get into it. Here we go. Squidward School for Grownups. Love the music.
Good morning, Patrick.
Hey, SpongeBob.
You ready for some fun, old pal?
Fun? That's just fun. What? Okay. Yeah, and the start of this episode seems like a pretty normal day in the life of SpongeBob and Patrick, and I'm like, how are they going to have fun? And I guess this is their idea of fun. I guess this is just their speed. Let's see what happens next.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I love boat screaming. Oh, hey,
Boat
hey,
screaming?
Here comes another one.
What is this?
Here comes another one.
Okay, so the quality of their voice and what they're doing with their bodies is now mimicking the relative size and volume of the passing boats. Yeah, this is really weird. I've never seen this in real life or in SpongeBob, but okay. I'm guessing that this School for Grownups is going to be a more sophisticated way of having fun. That's just my guess. Barely audible.
Morons.
Yeah.
Would you two mind stopping
Here we
with
go.
your baby games?
Oh, good morning, Squidward.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It kind of always looks like this in Bikini Bottom, like kind of relatively dark. Never really know what time it is because it always looks kind of like this, unless it's completely dark. But let's see what happens here with Squidward.
Patrick here told me.
When are you two gonna grow up?
Oh, maybe Squidward can come
Here we
down
go.
and teach us how to play it. Won't it, Patrick?
He's asleep. He always falls asleep. Okay. Enough already.
No! What's the big idea?
He's got a beard.
You have a beard!
I do?
How'd that happen?
And everybody knows that grown-ups never play with kids. And on that note, I would like to personally commend the Sea Star for taking his first baby steps.
Okay. Okay, all right. So, yeah, I don't like how this is going. So I'm guessing that Squidward is going to say, now that you look like an adult, you don't need to play with kids, and so you don't need to play with SpongeBob. I hope that's not what happens here. Kind of reminds me of Patrick Smart Pants, where he doesn't want to play with SpongeBob anymore. And as kind of simple as this screaming at the boats game was, it was sort of nice that they are playing together, I guess, sort of sweet in a weird way. And now I guess this is going to ruin that, but let's see.
I am curious to know what mature people like Squidward.
Here we go.
Show me! Show me! Oh, please, please, please. Pretty please.
I know I'm gonna regret this.
He's going to do it.
All right, I will take on this mission
Hooray!
in the hope that a quiet, grown-up neighborhood will prevail at last.
Okay, I knew there was an ulterior motive. I'm like, why would he be this generous or charitable? And it's just sort of self-serving, kind of like Mr. Krabs. Like, there are a few instances where it would appear that he's doing something generous for SpongeBob and others, but it's really only to get people's money, and that's all he cares about. And Squidward just cares about having a quiet time where no one bothers him.
And blessed tranquility. A place
There you go.
where at last I can...
What? May I tag along and observe your instructions? Maybe some of your lessons in maturity will rub off on me.
Yeah, and then it'll be
Bringing
even
us
more
2
quiet.
steps closer to a quiet, grown-up neighborhood.
Yeah, nice little piece of logic, SpongeBob. I don't think he's going to be able to argue with that.
that actually made sense.
Yeah.
It must be working already. Let me escort
Here
you
we
to
go.
my place, my good sir.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Grown-ups do not high five.
Lesson number 1, huh? You know, that is sort of true. I remember in school kind of high-fiving all the time, and now I don't remember getting too many high fives lately. But in school, I remember, yeah, it was sort of a normal kind of thing. So maybe he's got a point here. What was that? What was that? Measuring him. Bow tie. Not quite.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, SpongeBob doesn't look too bad here in kind of a weird, kind of out there way as far as fashion goes. So he's trying to get him to look sophisticated, I guess. Patrick's not quite doing it so far, but let's see.
Poor baby.
Well played, Patrick.
Ha.
Well played.
Men's club, huh?
May I take your hat and cane, sir?
Why, certainly.
This is just too good. This is just too good because this is supposed to be a sophisticated establishment, and he's wearing like either a tux. I see some tails with a top hat and a cane. The ultra formal of the ultra formal that I don't know where you would wear something like this nowadays, but it's the least sophisticated character doing this. So those extremes on opposite ends kind of make this a funny situation. Okay.
Appetite.
Oh boy, eat!
And we also have milk and cookies.
So he's like the child.
Are those chocolate chip cookies? Can I?
Patrick, you'd rather have some tetrazzini? We
Tetrazzini. Yeah, it's like SpongeBob is kind of sort of trying to be sophisticated, but he's like the child here in this situation. He sits on the floor and they give him cookies. And then Patrick wants the cookies too, but he's like, no, you have to eat this adult food, whatever that means to him. That's pretty funny.
I'm frankly shocked they serve such elementary fare here.
indeed.
Elementary fare.
And my person.
Like the tetrazzini is elementary. So like he's so high above that something like that, which would be, you know, something adults eat, is so far beneath him. That's just funny.
Personal favorite piece
Art
is
museum.
this lovely statue from the Renaissance era.
Renaissance.
It said flooring. The flooring complements the artwork here exquisitely.
Not bad. Nice save, Patrick. Ooh.
SpongeBob, get down from there right now!
Yeah, and he's acting like the least sophisticated ever, worse than Patrick under normal circumstances. And yeah, in an art museum, you do not touch the statues, much less get on top of them and take a selfie on top of the statue. That's like the worst of the worst of the worst thing you could do. And so I guess that's what SpongeBob is going to do here. Yep, ruined the painting.
Guys, I'm okay.
No, he's not.
Good as
Didn't work. Reminds me of the Mr. Bean movie, if you've ever seen that, where he messes up the painting and he tries to like wipe whatever he got on it away, and it makes it even worse. Or first he makes it perfect again, and then it makes it worse, and I don't remember what happens. He bails out of there or something. So this kind of reminds me of that.
All fixed, guys.
Yeah, that's not.
Security!
Please be gentle.
Yeah, I was wondering. I didn't see anybody in here. Normally, art museums are going to have curator or other staff walking around, and yes, sometimes security, depending on what type of museum it is. So, but Patrick calls security on him. So we'll see if this creates some sort of divide between the two buddies here.
I thought I was gonna get tossed out on my.
There you go.
Well, other than me, of course.
Beard. I must remove that beard.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, there's some logic here. I was starting to get a little worried because just like in Patrick's Smart Pants, it seems like this is going to be a problem that is not going to allow them to hang out anymore. And it all comes back to that beard. That beard is what Squidward keeps talking about. It's what started the situation in the first place. So he decides, I'm going to shave that beard off, and then that will fix it. Still don't know how you can go to sleep and just wake up with a beard. I guess that's the magic of of the writers of SpongeBob, just making that the plot, but I've never seen that before, except like in Rip Van Winkle, the folktale or whatever it is, but he is supposedly asleep for a long, long time, and Patrick only slept for like a minute, if that. But now he's going to shave the beard off, so let's see how that goes.
Move, beard. Restore friendship.
And that's what I told them. Look, if I wanted to stand...
That's it. It must
Oh.
be done.
You see that face when he tackled him? Wow. This is season 8, which is not one of the really late seasons, but sometimes Patrick can turn, SpongeBob can turn a little dark sometimes with his emotions. You're not used to seeing him kind of crazed like that. But on the other hand, this beard is threatening their friendship. This is kind of pivotal to the entire SpongeBob series. So I'm a little nervous, but let's see what happens here.
SpongeBob, the only thing that must be done is cutting the cord with you.
No,
Ooh.
please.
Look, Mr. Baby Pants, no buts. We are through entertaining your company.
Yeah, and Squidward is just kind of ruthless. Every episode I've seen him in, he's just sort of heartless. I haven't seen one yet. Maybe one does exist where he exhibits some sort of empathy, but not usually. He's like, I don't care. I don't care about you. I just want what I want, and I want you to leave me alone, and that's it. That's kind of Squidward's personality.
Let's shall.
Let's shall.
Patrick, don't leave me.
Here we go. Maybe he'll come to his
Why are there
senses.
so many stairs?
You've only gone up 3 steps.
Which is?
Also known as the famed Bikini Bottom.
The Opera House. I did not know Bikini Bottom had an opera house, but just like in Salsa and Basilicus, I didn't know they had a university except for that one episode, and there's probably other examples as well. Didn't know they had a football stadium except in Band Geeks. So, and the list goes on and on of these places that only exist in one episode. And yeah, for some reason, the opera is considered to be, okay, if you're smart and sophisticated, you just automatically go to the opera. I don't think it's that way. I have seen operas before, and they can be very entertaining. It's basically just a play that's totally, completely set to music with lots of singing, which may or may not be in English, but it can be very entertaining, but it doesn't mean, okay, you have to like it. And if you don't, then you're not sophisticated like it's being portrayed here. Okay, here we go.
Hey, all right, box seats.
Yeah, box seats, I was going to say, which are typically the most expensive seats because you get a nice high view, and most of all, it's by yourself. You don't have to sit around anybody else, which you would even if you were on the front row. You've got people all around you. So yeah, you got box seats. Okay, they're doing well for themselves here.
Whose name we shall not mention,
Mm.
would have picked.
Certainly.
Here we go. And I'm wondering, like, what is an opera like in the SpongeBob universe? Like, what is a SpongeBob opera going to be like? I see this, whatever this is, come out on the stage. I don't know what to expect here, but here we go. Okay.
A most exemplary performance.
Yeah, and just in sort of pop culture, the image of opera is some fairly large person singing very high notes in an operatic style with, a Viking helmet. I don't know where that came from, with horns on it and stuff. But no, all an opera is a story, like a play set to music, and that's it. And the lines are mostly sung, and there's a story, often a very in-depth, intricate story, just like in a longer play, and that's what it is. And you're entertained by the story, and you have the added bonus of not only the singing, but the full orchestra that they have that you kind of heard. But it's not just the la 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 that you heard, or whatever stereotype you may have in your head about it. Okay.
Stop!
Yeah, that's what I said in my head. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Beautiful.
SpongeBob.
There once was a man from Nantucket. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Dear friend, don't say that it's all over.
Okay. Yeah, and as strange as this is, I'm guessing that this sophisticated performance by SpongeBob is going to move Patrick in some way, and he's going to just sort of abandon this lifestyle and go back to hanging out with SpongeBob, I'm guessing. And you notice he's singing about, don't say it's over, meaning our friendship. That's sort of what these big operatic style numbers usually are, some sort of emotional plea or some sort of just epiphany of some sort sort that is sung expressing, oh, I feel this way or that way, and that's typically why that's typically why operas have the reputation that they do.
Dear friend, don't say that it's all.
Here we go. And my question is, does he know it's SpongeBob? I'm not sure if we're supposed to think he knows it's SpongeBob or doesn't know it's SpongeBob. And then maybe he reveals it. This is kind of a weird getup for him to be in, but let's see how this ends here.
What do?
Yeah, he's moved. And having that kind of cadenza at the end there where, the last part, they just kind of go crazy and their voice goes up and down and all sorts of movements on like one word. Yeah, that's pretty common.
Hey, how's a sea urchin supposed to get any sleep with all these salty tears falling on him? I gotta get out of here.
Okay. That's not how I expected him to lose his beard. I thought he would get upset and then realize the beard was the problem and then shave the beard. But no, the beard leaves him because the beard cannot sleep. I did not know beards sleep. I don't think my beard sleeps. I've never known it to do that, nor has it ever spoken to me. But nevertheless, he gets mad because he cries on the beard and then the beard leaves. So that's kind of weird, not what I expected, but let's see how this ends.
Excuse me, coming through. Hey, watch it, mister.
Exit stage left is that away.
Thanks, cutie. Nice hat. Hey, stop that beard.
Patrick, it's not a beard. It's a sea urchin. It must have
Sea
been
urchin.
sleeping on your face and
Okay, there we go. That makes much more sense because I'm like, why would you suddenly grow a beard after like a minute sleeping? Not even that, when you're face down in the sand. Well, if there was a sea urchin there and it just sort of stuck to you, yeah, that would kind of make sense, wouldn't it?
How do you know my name?
Because, Mr. Patrick Star, Hugh told me.
SpongeBob!
Patrick!
He didn't say, when asked, how do you know my name? He didn't say, because I'm SpongeBob. He said, because you told me. You told me your name, so therefore I know your name. Okay, that's a little strange, but whatever.
Please, you can call me Patrick.
Stop it right there.
Okay, here we go.
I'm ashamed and disgusted by you people. I mean, don't you know a terrible performance when you see it?
Yeah, right now.
Yes,
Right?
we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought you. No, I didn't mean it like that. It was.
By the way, after a performance in either a play or maybe an opera also, it is somewhat common for the actors to be presented with roses, like maybe afterward. I have not known many places to allow people to throw stuff up there, even flowers. You might get kicked out depending on the venue, but I have seen many times maybe after the performance, a lot of places will have it where the actors come out and talk to the audience and the audience sort of tells them, you did so well. In a big venue, it might just be like you have to buy a VIP pass and you get to talk to them afterwards. In a small venue, they may just come out at the end, come out into the lobby or at some other location, and you're able to kind of chat with them, and it's kind of cool, and they're still in costume. And you might have friends or colleagues give them flowers or roses or something else to sort of congratulate them on the performance, depending on what it is. Now, if you throw tomatoes at people, I know that's sort of what you do in pop culture, but no, you get kicked out, maybe even arrested. I mean, you're just not allowed to do that. That's not part of it. No. All right, well, that's the episode. That was kind of a fun one. Squidward's School for Grownups. I do often see him trying to have this sort of upscale lifestyle, or at least thinking himself to be sophisticated, and yet he works at the Krusty Krab. That's a little interesting, but I guess he doesn't care as long as he gets peace and quiet. But then Patrick and SpongeBob rarely give him peace and quiet, so he tries to teach them how to be sophisticated. That was pretty funny, though. Thank you all for the recommendation once again. Just a quick reminder, again, please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, or consider becoming a channel member. And once again, a quick shout out to the channel members here on the screen. But with that, I'm going to leave the video right here. I'll see you on the next video on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.